it's crazy. Like 40 and 12, like people don't understand. Like that's not easy. Like scoring and then getting everybody involved. Like what she's doing is unbelievable.
The fastest player in WNBA history to rack up 200-plus points and 50-plus assists, and the fastest rookie to reach 150-plus points, 50-plus rebounds, and 50-plus assists. Plus, she's the only rookie besides Candace Parker to have multiple games with 30-plus points, 5-plus rebounds, and 5-plus assists. Caitlin Clark is dominating the league like no one else in her first season.
Clark trying to get by the Mystics defense at the cup. Boston gets the slip and wrong. Quickly up the floor is Mitchell. Beautiful find from Clark as Richards as she's into the ball game. Richards on the floor. Clark, the step back three just below the logo, drills it. Move has Smith running with her. Gets it to her on the move. Beautiful.
And all of that, but she is right there for her in every.
Clark pulls off that screen, knocks it down. Clark, pull up three, at one.
I mean, how many rookies, even in the NBA, can say their opponents are using a box-and-one defense against them by the second quarter?
2 points at the free throw line there for the Mystics as Melvin was fouled by Smith Wallace.
Or getting double-teamed like this in the fourth quarter.
From driving to the store the same way. It's a brand new car. You love it.
Mitch.
Or have opponents so focused on guarding them that they forget there's still one more free throw.
Got one more, Arie.
I had a great conversation with Caitlin.
The 2024 WNBA first overall pick drew a staggering 2.45 million viewers to watch the WNBA draft. In comparison, the 2023 WNBA Finals, the most watched in 2 decades, averaged just 728,000 viewers across the 4-game series on ESPN. Caitlin Clark is truly one of a kind, but her rise has sparked mixed reactions from NBA stars and WNBA legends alike. While some have acknowledged her greatness, others have downplayed her achievements. However, 4-time NBA champion LeBron James didn't hesitate to recognize her star power and the impact she's had on the league. According to LeBron,
the one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane for the first time in their league history. You know, they flew private. That should be celebrated in its own right. From anyone that's, in sports that's flown commercial or flown, charter, that should be celebrated. And it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
LeBron's statement isn't far-fetched when you consider the undeniable Caitlin Clark effect on the WNBA. Since her arrival, WNBA attendance has surged 156% compared to last year, and over half of this season's games have completely sold out. The WNBA Countdown viewership has skyrocketed by 211%, now averaging 741,000 viewers for the season. Even more impressive, televised WNBA games are pulling in an average of 1.32 million viewers, nearly triple last year's 462,000. But LeBron isn't the only NBA star to recognize her impact. 2-time NBA Finals MVP Kevin Durant was actually ahead of the game, acknowledging her talent before most in the NBA.
I remember watching her when she was a summer going into her senior year. I was in Chicago for 3 days for the Girls AAU Nationals, and all ages. And I happened to see the 17 and under girls, and she was in the championship. Her team from Iowa, I figure a few of those girls on her team now, but they played together so smooth, but she was always leading that shit. She always had the ball in her hand. Everybody was playing off of her. She just commanded the whole game. I was like, who the hell is this? She is nice. It was like, oh, she the best player in the country. I was like, oh, damn. I see it now. Like, you know,
Right.
like when you walk in and you
like
don't even know who anybody is, and they just be like, yo, that's the best player in the country right there. It's just like, yo, that shit hits you out of nowhere. Like, let me really focus in on her.
Yeah.
Then I started following her career, and like, she stayed at home in Iowa, and last year she was killing too.
The Caitlin Clark that KD recognized early on was the real deal, and her greatness was clear from the start. In her junior year of high school, she dropped an astounding 60 points, the second highest single-game point total in Iowa's 5-on-5 girls basketball history. That game also saw her hit 13 three-pointers, a record on its own. But her game isn't just about three-pointers. According to the only other player besides Caitlin Clark to lead Division I in points and assists per game in a single season, she's simply unguardable. And her style of play is unbelievable.
It's crazy. Like 40 and 12, like people don't understand. Like that's not easy. Like scoring and then getting everybody involved. Like what she's doing is unbelievable. No, I mean if you look at it at the beginning of the game, she was just driving to the basket. She was getting layup after layup. And so at some point, the defender that's guarding her way out on the perimeter because they don't want her to shoot threes is going to sag off and be like, okay, I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to let her just keep driving by me.
Yeah.
So then she was dribbling with her left, and then she was using her hang dribble just to read if she was going to be able to blow by her defender or not. And she was just doing step backs and side steps and dribbling in the lane, dribbling back out, and then shooting threes. But it started with her getting to the basket and just getting some layups, getting easy ones, getting some and ones to start the game. Like you could tell that she had a plan on what she was doing all night.
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark's college gameplay was so remarkable that her 41-point triple-double, the first ever in Division I NCAA tournament history, had none other than Magic Johnson tweeting that she might be better than him, MJ, and Larry Bird. Magic Johnson even went as far as to admit that she is the second greatest basketball career after WNBA legend Diana Taurasi's legendary college career. Caitlin Clark's basketball career has been amazing and is second only to Diana Taurasi's dominant career, where she won 3 national championships at UConn. Is Caitlin Clark 22? Magic Johnson tweeted. However, while Magic Johnson strongly believes she is the second greatest, another Hall of Famer believes she is the greatest female college basketball player ever.
The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal. I'm going to go on the record and say she's the best female collegiate player ever.
Ever?
Well,
I don't know about you. You ever heard of
Never.
Cheryl Miller,
Never.
Maya Moore?
I said what I said. Ever.
Diana Taurasi?
I said what I said.
No disrespect.
Listen,
Hey,
this is
Caitlin
my
Clark is amazing.
This is my opinion.
Candace
I'm not
Parker?
changing it.
That's
I
a-
said what I said.
Nobody's ever shot it like her. No, she's like
I
Steph
said what I
Curry.
said.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
right.
And listen,
I ain't disrespecting nobody. It's just my opinion, and I ain't going to change it.
Shaquille O'Neal may stir up controversy, but there's truth in his words. Caitlin Clark is the all-time leading scorer in Division I college basketball, man or woman. She's the only player in Division I history with over 3,800 points, 1,000 assists, and 950 rebounds. Did you know she's the only player in NCAA Division I history, men's or women's, to lead her conference in both scoring and assists for 4 consecutive seasons? The point guard broke the all-time conference assist record while also leading the nation in both points and assists. She's also the first NCAA Division I player, man or woman, to hit 200 three-pointers in a single season, surpassing the record held by Steph Curry. With these accomplishments, it's no wonder she's drawn comparisons to the 2022 NBA Finals MVP.
I mean, she is the female Steph Curry because we've just never seen anything like this. She is shooting step back, jump shot, three-pointers from the logo. Never did I think I would see that. And she's making them. Not yet in the WNBA, but she certainly made a bunch at Iowa.
Her playing style and threes have earned her comparison to Steph Curry, with the future Hall of Famer even admitting that they both have the same release time and range.
I saw somebody break down the release time, which is pretty much identical to mine. And then her just confidence, you can't help but watch when she plays, where she's shooting from, the range, the confidence, the flair.
Their release time, surprisingly, isn't the only thing that makes their gameplay similar.
Listen, we all talk about quick release. How quick is her release? How about 0.43 seconds?
Even her floor game. And according to several NBA players, she is in fact the female Steph Curry. Luka Doncic flat out denied any comparison to him, stating that she is more Steph Curry-like.
Amazing. I saw this one. He said 41, almost triple double here. He was shooting that ball fly. Yeah, I watched a little bit, but then I had to do some shooting. But it was amazing. I watched the first half. But she got to go in the second half, so I didn't watch that.
Does she remind you of you at all? I mean, she's kind of got that. She's got a.
It's more Steph Curry, man.
Former NBA champion Jeff Teague also admitted that she plays like Steph Curry.
Really look like Steph Curry. Some of them stuff, I'm like, when she did the behind the back to the lay, I said, I look like Steph.
Yeah. Accepting the double team and then shooting a three anyway is only Steph Curry type shit.
Steph Curry, I said she's the girl Steph Curry, bro. I ain't want to say it, but it's like, yo, you play like Steph Curry.
NBA analyst Stephen A. Smith called her the Steph Curry of women's basketball.
This girl is the best in the world on a collegiate women's level. I don't care what anybody says. There's nobody better than her. She is a sensational talent. No question about it. She is the Steph Curry of women's basketball. That is what I call her. How many games is this now? That's her 38th career 30-point-plus game as a college basketball player. You know, she's done 40-plus several times. She's sensational. She's a marksman extraordinaire. And she's a wonderful, wonderful person, incredibly articulate as well. And I think that what you'll see is the WNBA. You'll see people clamoring for her. Just watch the game, because we love the women's game. I enjoyed it when I was at the WNBA finals, that championship game between the Aces and the Liberty. I got to tell you something. Caitlin Clark, ultimately in the WNBA, is going to be something special to behold, because she's special now, and she's only getting better.
Shaquille O'Neal also recognized the Steph Curry comparison.
Caitlin Clark is a special player. She reminds me of a Steph Curry. You know, a lot of times she takes those ill-advised shots that me and Chuck don't like, but they go in. Not only do they go in consistently. And the way she plays the game, she's the true definition of a great player, one that makes the players around her better. You know, not only was she making a great shot, she was making great passes.
Interestingly, while many compare her to Steph, Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas thinks she's even better. During NBA All-Star Weekend, the legendary Detroit Pistons guard boldly claimed that she's a better shooter than both Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu.
I'm gonna say this: neither one of them are the greatest shooters, because right now, that Caitlin Clark,
you want to bring her in?
That's who I want to see. I want to see her in this competition.
So next, you want to see the three of them next year?
If
she's in the WNBA.
Bring Caitlin in and let her shoot against both of them. That's who I want to see. Because 22 in Iowa, hey, she the real deal. That's who should be in this competition.
Even Steph Curry himself seems to acknowledge there's more to her game than just their shooting similarities.
The way that she plays and her range and the level of difficulty on her shots is obviously a very close comparison to the way that I play.
I was going to say Caitlin Clark's been compared to you.
Yeah, but I think it almost robs her of like the rest of her game, because she's such a good floor, you know, she has her overall, you know, floor game. She's racking up, you know, close to triple doubles every night, and like her shooting ability is, you know, it's her superpower, but the rest of her game is as polished as that, and so it's must-see TV.
However, these praises haven't come without backlash, especially from the WNBA. A young rookie breaking records and defying expectations has earned her admiration from NBA players, but it's also made her the target of criticism from some WNBA players. Unfortunately, these praises and accolades haven't come without backlash, particularly from the WNBA. As this young rookie shatters records and redefines expectations, she's earned admiration from NBA players, while WNBA players have become some of her fiercest critics. 13 games into her WNBA career, and she has had to face this.
And Clark. I mean, that's clear, which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Kennedy Carter.
This.
The defense to come down and collapse leads to open three opportunities.
Clark nudged by Carrington. Carrington believes there's some act connecting going on, and Clark has some words for her back. Healthy competition here between two players that have been really just draped all over each other in the two meetings and then tonight's game.
Keep in mind, Dejanay Carrington was an absolute her first ever game of the WNBA, forcing 10 turnovers. Right there you see.
And even this.
Kicking it out, Evans fakes the three, takes the two, and knocks it down. A lot of contact. 50, 50-50.
From her fellow rookie Angel Reese. Despite the unnecessary shove by Chicago Sky's Chennedy Carter, the guard still took a swipe at Caitlin, questioning what Clark brings to the table, besides the ability to shoot three-pointers. Surprisingly, these cheap shots at Caitlin have been happening for years, even before she entered the league. WNBA Hall of Famer Sheryl Swoopes, the first player ever signed to the WNBA, wrongfully questioned the legitimacy of her college scoring record.
Because I say this, yes, records are made and set to be broken. But if you're going to break a record, this isn't just for Caitlin, but you asked me about Caitlin. If you're going to break a record, to me, if it's legitimate, you have to break that record in the same amount of time that that player set it.
Okay.
Right? So if Kelsey Plum set that record in 4 years, well, Caitlin should have broke that record in 4 years. But because there's a COVID year, and then there's another year, you know what I mean? So she's already had an extra year to break that record. So is it truly a broken record? I don't know.
You think exactly how
I don't think so, but yeah, that'll go in the record books as Caitlin Clark is the all-time, whatever it is. I don't even know what the number is, but that's the way it'll be. And I don't think it should be.
Swoopes couldn't have been more wrong or misinformed because Caitlin Clark broke the all-time NCAA women's basketball scoring record in her 4th season, not her 5th, and did so in fewer games than Kelsey Plum. Later in the same interview, Swoopes even claimed that Caitlin was 5 years older than her competition, which supposedly explained her record-breaking performances.
How much more experience that gives you over other players coming in, right? So people say, dang, like he or she's killing them, but you have a 25-year-old playing against a 20-year-old. Like, you should be killing them. Because you've been doing it a lot longer than they have.
Yeah. But this is a blatant lie, as Caitlin was only 22 in her final year of college and had been dominating since her freshman season. In her first year, she averaged 26.6 points, 7.1 assists, and 5.9 rebounds per game, leading NCAA Division I in scoring while ranking 2nd in assists and three-pointers per game. Later in the show, Swoopes also falsely claimed that Caitlin Clark takes 40 shots a game, when in reality, Clark averaged 22.7 shots per game, just 3 more than Swoopes herself averaged as a senior at Texas Tech. It was obvious Swoopes was trying to discredit Caitlin's accomplishments. And surprisingly, this wasn't the first time she took a shot at Clark's records. In Caitlin's 3rd year, she set the record for the most points in a women's NCAA tournament, with 191 points in 6 games, surpassing Swoopes' 1993 record. In response, the 3-time WNBA MVP said, "To me, she broke the record, but she did it in 6 games. I didn't get that 6th game, so I set the record in 5 games. So to me, yes, she broke the record, but she did it in 6 games." However, Sheryl Swoopes isn't the only WNBA legend taking shots at Caitlin Clark's college resume. Even 2-time WNBA Finals MVP Breanna Stewart has surprisingly downplayed Caitlin's achievements, claiming they don't mean much since she hasn't won a title yet.
So there's been this hot take debate about, do you need to have a championship for legacy when you talk about a women's college basketball player? You are the expert on this since you have 4.
Yeah.
Does Caitlin Clark need a championship to be considered one of the greats in women's college basketball history?
Yeah, she does. I think so. Because then you're gonna look 10 years back and you're gonna see all the records she's broken and the points and stuff like that. But anybody knows, your goal when you play college basketball is to win a national championship. So you need one.
For some time now, it seems like more WNBA greats have been trying to suppress the Indiana Fever's rising star. Even Diana Taurasi, widely considered the WNBA's greatest player of all time, had something to say after Caitlin's historic college performance.
Look, SVP, reality is coming.
Okay.
You know, there's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it.
Of course.
And you see it on the NBA side, and you're going to see it on this side, where, you know, you look superhuman playing against 18-year-olds, but you're going to come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
Sadly, these cheap shots from WNBA legends aren't the only hurdles the rookie faces. She's also been on the receiving end of unnecessary hard fouls from veterans trying to send her a message.
Seattle, and all of a sudden, we're pretty close. This has been as close as it's been all second quarter long, 44.
The biggest news right now is Caitlin Clark being left off the Olympic team, a roster that includes 41-year-old Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner, who has only played one game this year, scoring just 11 points. Despite the opinions of WNBA legends and veterans, several NBA players and former stars have acknowledged Caitlin's unfortunate situation and voiced their support. LeBron James, who faced similar hostility when he entered the league, has also come to her defense.
You know, I'm just kind of in this mode right now because I'm getting the same, you know, thing from watching my son, who's a 19-year-old, kind of getting a lot of animosity and hatred towards him when he's just a kid trying to live out his dream. You know, there's a very small number of men and women that actually get to live out their dream of playing a professional sport. And we have grown-ass men and women out here doing whatever they can to try to make sure that does not happen. That is the weirdest thing in the world, but it is what it is, and I'm glad that Caitlin has a great head on her shoulder.
Among NBA players, the loudest to have come to her support so far has been Charles Barkley, who called out WNBA players for being petty.
You women out there, y'all petty, man. Hey, LeBron, you're 100% right on these girls hating on Caitlin Clark. Y'all petty, girls. I expect men to be petty because we're the most insecure group in the world.
Oh, you are.
Y'all should be thanking that girl for getting y'all ass private charters, all the money and visibility she bringing to the WNBA. Don't be petty like dudes. Listen, what she's accomplished, give her her flowers. Stop being petty, all you women out there. She got y'all ass charters. She bringing all y'all this money to the table, but y'all being petty like dudes. LeBron, you are 100% right. Y'all girls, stop being petty. Caitlin Clark, thank you for bringing all that money and shine to the WNBA.
Well, they're gonna hate you.
Gilbert Arenas addressed the hate she's been getting since she got into the league, letting everyone know that she is a golden goose.
There was no loaf.
Absolutely.
There was crumbs.
Yeah.
Loaves are coming now.
Absolutely.
So
good point.
you can hate the girl all you want, but she's putting money in your pocket, and if you don't understand that, and y'all sitting here trying to hurt her, I can tell you what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Them games she started missing, she gets hurt, and they say, hey, Caitlin's out for the year. I know one thing that's gonna happen.
Ticket sales.
Them ticket sales is gone.
Revenue, ticket sales, everything go decline.
Jeff Teague on his podcast weighed in on how the hate she has been getting is unnecessary.
Like, they played this all wrong, bro.
Terribly, bro.
They was supposed to gas this shit. This is why people don't watch this shit when y'all leave college. Women's sports, because y'all hating on the best thing that's gonna happen to the W for a long time.
Even one of the most respected voices in women's college basketball and the sport as a whole, longtime UConn head coach Gino Auriemma agrees that she is being unfairly treated by her fellow WNBA players. I don't remember when Jordan came into the NBA, guys looking to go out and beat him up, Auriemma said. I don't remember when Larry Bird and Magic Johnson came in the league and elevated the NBA, them getting targeted and getting beat up just because of who they were and the attention they were getting. Why are you blaming that kid? It's not her fault, because you would trade places with her in a minute, but you are not there. You're not her. So you're complaining that she's getting what she's getting, Auriemma said. Regardless of what the WNBA and its legends think of Caitlin Clark, she's undeniably a generational talent. The league will be seeing her for a long time, and as she continues to grow, so will her fan base among NBA players. What do you think about Caitlin Clark? Should she have been left off the Olympic team? Is she being unfairly targeted, or is she just paying her dues? Let me know in the comments.